Well, the Lord bless you today. God's blessings on you on this Wednesday morning. So I'm going to get right to it. I think, a lot to say. I'm going to try to pack it into 4 or 5 minutes here. So I'm going to talk about prayer again. There is a verse in Matthew chapter 27. I believe it's verse 51. And it's at the death of Jesus. Obviously, it's at the end of Matthew. And it says that when Jesus died, it makes a reference in Matthew 27:51 that the veil in the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. Now, many of you are probably familiar with this. Some of you may not be so much. Either way, it's a little bit of a reminder. In the temple, there was this veil, and there was this very thick, it was like a big curtain, but a big thick curtain. I mean, like 6 inches thick or more. And it covered the front, the entryway of a little area in the middle of the temple called the Holy of Holies. Now, what that represented is behind this veil in the Holy of Holies sat the Ark of the Covenant. And on top of the Ark of the Covenant sat this thing called the mercy seat. And this was believed to be the throne of God. God's presence was behind that veil. Now, I want you to, that's their understanding of this whole thing. God was behind that veil, and God's presence was behind that veil. The problem was the average person could never go behind that veil. In fact, only the high priest could ever go behind that veil. And he could go only one time a year on the Day of Atonement. So basically what this said is that there was a separation between the people and God, a separation that could not be breached. The average person never went in there, ever got to go into the presence of God. And so this was symbolic of the Old Testament and its law, that there's separation and separation from God. And so then when Jesus dies, this veil, it says in Matthew 27:51, was completely torn in two from top to bottom, all the way completely. Again, the symbolism being that now access to God is open to anyone and to everyone at all times. We have direct access, and this is the point I'm equating with prayer. We now have direct access to God. You can come directly into the presence of God with your burdens and with your needs and with whatever is on your mind. You come directly to His presence, directly to His throne room. So you have access. You also have, because of this access, we can also have a confidence to come before God. Hebrews chapter 10 verses 19 and 20. He says, therefore we have boldness or confidence to enter the holiest, he's talking about this holy place, by the blood of Jesus, by a new and living way which He consecrated for us through the veil. So see, he's making reference to that veil. Through the veil, that is His flesh. So His flesh and blood, His death, His burial is what tore open that veil and provided to us access. And how did it do that? It's because He forgave us of our sin. I love the verse in Revelation chapter 1 verse 5. It's describing Jesus, and it says, because He loved us and He washed us from our sin. If you read other translations, it'll say that He loved us and He freed us from our sin. He released us from our sin. The gospel of Jesus Christ, the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus, has given to us a completely new and completely incredible opportunity for prayer. We have direct access to God Himself, and we can have confidence that we can approach and that we can come to Him, not because of who we are, but because of what Christ did through His death, burial, and resurrection. Now get out there and pray today. Love you guys. God bless you. Bye.